Hello and welcome to episode 236 of the Arena Regulars podcast. I'm Zach,
And I'm Jeff.
and we're your source for drunken Magic the Gathering arena content.
That's right, just a couple of regular guys drinking some irregular beers, talking about Magic the Gathering, in particular, the online client MTG Arena.
That's right, and this week we have an extra special guest. Welcome to the show once again, our brewer friend Ryan, who is a Pauper and Artisan master.
They said it. I'm a master. And I'm extra special. That's two things.
But as always, each week we bring a beer, we drink it, we rate it on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. So with that, Ryan, what is on tap this week? What have you brought for us?
On tap this week is one of my favorites that we've done at the brewery I work at, Fairweather Brewing Company in Hamilton, Ontario, several times. Snapio Crispy IPA. It is a 6% West Coast style IPA, but using East Coast technique, so it's fruity. It's got a little bit of like a sulfury snap. It goes down very nice, has a beautiful fruity finish, and I can't stop drinking it. We released it last week, and it's kind of all I've been consuming. So
Amazing! I'm so excited. I haven't tried this before. Jeff, you have tried this. You know this beer well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm the only one who hasn't tried this before. And is Snapio? Is that the name of this like alligator, or
I think so. Well,
little
like
guy on the can?
at the brewery, if something has a bit of like a sulfur or like a high, I don't know, sort of like how do I say this? Like slate kind of stone character,
Okay.
flinty kind of character in these kind of beers. We call it snappy. We're like, all right, it's a snappy lager. It's a snappy IPA. And the boss was like, it was just called Snapio. I'm like, what snaps? Little gators and stuff.
Yeah.
So us, the little alligator. I love the can. It could
It's
be
so
a
cute.
it could be a cheeky magic card from like 1998. It's beautiful.
Yeah, actually, Magic has been trying to have like a little guy. They've been working really hard. They had like Fipplethip, they've did like Loot, and most recently Fleam. I feel like Snapio would be a really great
Oh, yeah. It'd
little
fit
guy.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah! It'll be a like a one mana mythic that's going to be banned in like 3 formats.
Exactly. Oh, that's right. But anyway, guys, are we ready to crack these open and get
do
everything
it.
rolling? All right.
Yep.
Here we go. All right. Oh, I'm excited. Ooh, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, we have some Magic news. Arena Championships 12 is this weekend, May 23rd and 24th. There's 110 competitors, and they're all playing Historic, a format I don't play very often, but will be cool to see all the folks play. It's kind of an interesting tournament, so always nice. Competitive Magic on the weekend, love it. Always love it.
You know, it's always a bit of a bummer when they do one of these formats that I've never, or I haven't played in months. But then it's always also kind of fun, because you're like, I have no idea what's going on in this format.
I really enjoy actually watching tournaments where formats I don't really know, so you get to learn throughout the whole experience of watching. It's kind of like watching an old tournament where it's like a standard format you never played, and you're like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know that this happened, whatever. So I do like those. But, guys, there's some huge news. Gigantic news, okay? Through the Omen Paths, it's gone. It's out the door. We're never going to see it again. Kind of. But it
I
looks
don't know,
like...
is that what they said? I don't think they said that.
I think you have the option to see it, is what they've said.
But WotC did get the rights to the Marvel cards on MTG Arena. So we don't have to deal with like fake in-universe versions of all the cards anymore. And they're retroactively giving us all the Spider-Man cards as well. So every card on Arena that was Spider-Man previously and all the Marvel sets in the future will be on Arena. Which is actually... honestly, makes me way more excited for the Marvel superhero set because, like, I thought I was going to really like the Omen Paths thing, and then it just got really confusing when the Pro Tour started happening, and, like, when you're trying to talk to people, there's, like, 2 names for all the cards, and so I'm very happy that we can just kind of do away with the omen paths thing. Except for, Ryan, like you said, you will still get to keep the the skin of a card. If you liked Fleam more than the Green Goblin or whatever, you could still use Fleam. But now it's like, why?
Yeah, I don't think anybody liked Through the Omen Paths, right? Some people tolerated it.
I have heard people say that they preferred the Omen Paths one and want to know more about those characters and want to have those printed in paper. So
that would be me.
Oh man, Ryan. Okay, so tell us, how do you feel about this whole thing?
Okay, because I'm mostly a Pauper and Artisan player, seeing Spider-Man and like Leonardo dominate the formats that I love so much, I just wish they had been reskinned as something else that could be not Universes Beyond. So Through the Omen Path stuff for me, I'm kind of a fan. But I get it for the design team. They don't have to duplicate everything and try to make more narrative behind a set of cards they've already designed. That has to be a real pain. A lot of overtime, I'm sure, was done at WotC to make this happen.
Yeah, probably, and not well compensated either, as we kind of know with all the stuff that's happening with the arena team.
Yep.
But I think I was in your shoes previously when we were going into Spider-Man, and I did kind of like it at first, but then as time went on, I don't know. I don't mind having Leonardo in Pauper, but I also don't play nearly as much as you. So we're gonna get into more Pauper and Artisan stuff, which is why we have Ryan on the podcast. But we do have to finish out. We have some band announcements. Standard. No changes. Nothing changed. It's exactly the same. I kind of feel like this was just gonna happen. With the tournament results we've had recently, it doesn't really look like they would want to change anything. But I could understand people's frustrations that they felt like something needed to change. But I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You had to expect this, right? Like, is it dominated the Pro Tour in terms of metagame percentage, but not in terms of win rate? It got, there was almost none of it at the top tables. So anytime that happens, there's not a definitive thing for them to do, right? Like the deck people are complaining about just kind of bombed a major event. So are they supposed to ban it? Like, no, they're gonna wait.
So, that's what's happening there. But Pioneer, a format that
What's that?
Yeah. Apparently. Didn't realize the Corey Steel Cutter wasn't banned in Pioneer.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, wasn't that already banned? Yeah? Okay. I know so little about this format that I once loved.
I know, which is such a bummer. Pioneer seemed really exciting. Also, kind of an Is It format. But Corey Steel Cutter, out of there. But more surprising to me, Alchemy had a banned card. They banned Sewer Valence Cam, which I think, Ryan, you might know more about this card. Did you play this in Pauper? Or I know the power in Alchemy is different, but as far as...
It is, like, it's a solid card. I've played it in standard Pauper. I think they're playing it in regular Pauper. It is a good early game. You can get some value late game. You can bounce it, all this stuff. I don't know enough about Alchemy to tell you why it was banned.
So I can tell you that part. So Sewer Valence Camera is a single blue mana at flash speed. It's an artifact. You can tap or untap a permanent, and then you can also pay... Sorry, when it enters or leaves the battlefield, you can tap or untap a permanent. And it also has a sacrifice clause. You can pay 4 mana to draw 2 cards. But in Standard, VV has been banned. In Alchemy, VV has now changed to have a tap ability for the mana activating stuff. And so on the turns, it would be like tap VV, play the Sewer Valence Camera, untap VV, bounce the Sewer Valence Camera back to your hand with Boomerang Basics, tap VV, or untap VV, and keep doing that. So you get like 3 activations for like basically free, almost, feeling like. because Vivi's giving you mana throughout this whole thing. So that's why they got rid of it. But it is one of those weird things where it's like alchemy is supposed to be like a rebalancing format, and we're banning stuff. It's like, couldn't you just rebalance it for that? I don't know. I guess that would screw up all your stuff, but because then if Surveillance Camera like gets rebalanced, I don't know if they want to rebalance Vivi again. So like, can you rebalance Surveillance Cam without just making it useless? I don't know.
Rebalancing a common feels like really poor design in the first place. So.
It's true. It's true. So I guess, originally I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb. They should rebalance stuff instead of banning it. But I think in this case, it does kind of make sense to just, you know what? Let's just get rid of it in this format.
Just axe it. Like this is the type of card that either does nothing or it's just like kind of stupid. It's never super, super fun. And so, like you were saying, if you rebalance it, it's just going to be bad.
Exactly.
So might as well just ban it.
Yeah. But also, the topic of our episode today, Pauper. There's an unbanning. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, we're talking about Pauper, we're talking about Artisan on the podcast this week.
Perfect timing.
Unbanning. I go in, Bonder's Ornament. I'm like, sweet. Let's go see if anything's going to happen. And it looks like this card is just not on Arena at all. Am I correct in thinking this? Or it's a mana rock that like lets you draw cards. It's a very like
it's from
controlling
the
card.
Masters set.
And it's a Commander Masters thing. So, oftentimes Arena will kind of slip in random Commander cards and stuff. So I wasn't sure if this was part of any of that stuff. But when I was searching for this on Arena, I could not find it. And so I got kind of bummed because I wanted to hear your take on this. But it seems more like a paper popper type of thing, which is something I'm interested in talking later in the episode.
How was this banned in the
difference.
first place?
I'm truly baffled. This seems so
We would have more
clunky.
context on why this is good. Doesn't look good.
I in the article they were kind of explaining like it got banned pre Modern Horizons 3 and pre another set that brought a bunch of powerful commons, and the format was much slower, and so these controlling decks were just sitting back and just drawing way more cards than everybody else, and nobody could, I don't know. But
It's like Jam Day Tome,
It kind of, but I don't know. It's a interesting card. I definitely thought it was cheaper and more trinkety originally, but like a Vanillith card.
I guess the combo is enough to make it interesting, but it's mana. It's kind of like an expensive mana rock / an expensive card draw engine, but because it's both. I just it's hard to imagine a world where this gets banned. Like I could maybe see a world where people want to play it occasionally.
Yeah.
Ban seems wild.
Oh God. Yeah, I wish I had better information for you. But
you didn't track down the original banning and read it in its entirety.
You know what, Jeff? I should have. You're right. I'm sorry. My apologies. Basically, as soon as I found out it wasn't on Arena, I just stopped caring about the card altogether.
That's fair.
Because I was like, it doesn't matter to me.
Anyways, the rest of the episode is going to be about Bonder's Ornament and the impacts of the unbanning.
Guys, you can pay 4 and tap it, and each player who controls a permanent named Bonder's Ornament draws a card. Mm-hmm. It's busted.
At first I thought it stacked, where it was for each Bonder's Ornament, but no. It's just one.
And so, is it because the control players play it, then everybody else wants to play it, so they also draw cards? And so then it's just everybody's playing this card.
Everyone just jams Bonder's Ornament into their aggro.
I think this is the wrong podcast to talk about this card, I think. But
please
let's do a real deep dive here, guys.
Let's get into it.
What if this card were on Arena?
All right, so Pauper 3 years ago, what was that like?
Yeah.
We'll start from the beginning, Ryan. Why do we jump into 3 years ago?
Oh, God.
But anyway, so really what we want to talk about today is that Jeff and I have been getting more interested in fan run formats. And Ryan, you are well versed in fan run formats and how they function specifically. in the Pauper and Artisan world. Can you kind of give us your, like, when did you start playing Pauper? What made you interested in this over other formats? And how did you get involved in all this stuff?
I think what happened, I've been doing this, I guess it's just been over a year, honestly, but I have like dove in head first. And what I think did it for me was I just saw like a standard Pauper midweek Magic event on Arena. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay. And I got stomped. I was like, oh, I'll just put some like my draft comments together, see what happens. It's like these people have like synergy and tempo set up. I'm like, all right, where do you go when you need information? You go to Reddit. I'm like, all right, what's going on Reddit? I'm like, oh, there's a Discord server for Arena Pauper specifically. So I go in there. People have like posted all their decks. They're talking about strategies and stuff. They have like a spoilers page. They're talking about what deck archetypes these spoiled cards would fit into. And it was like, oh boy. And then it was like hook, line, and sinker. I was like, I'm in, man. Join the server. Started like doing casual, looking for game matches with just people there. Eventually started like running the standard ladders for the past like 8 months, and I haven't looked back. And then like shortly after that, I'm like, okay, I want a little bit more power. I'm like, what if we added uncommons? Is there an artisan server? And of course there is. And it's been so much fun. They're phenomenal players, phenomenal deck builders. There's some really, really cool synergistic decks you can play across standard, historic, and timeless. It's been so much fun, and it's all I'm playing. I have more mythic and rare wild cards than I do common and uncommon. That's where we're at.
That is not the case for me.
Yeah, same.
I have virtually unlimited common wildcards, I think.
But what an interesting externality of this thing in my obsession with lower rarity formats is that I've built 4 timeless decks in the last 3 weeks, and I can play timeless now.
Well, that's what I was going to jump in on, because maybe naively originally, I thought, like, Pauper is a format, and Artisan is a format. But you actually have Pauper Standard, Pauper Timeless, Artisan Timeless, right? There's enough depth there that you can actually have, like, different versions of the format.
100%, and because Historic uses the Arena Rebalance cards, some for the better, some for the worse, and they use alchemy-specific things as well, there are a few that are like almost to the point of format breaking, but we have community ban lists if something gets too out of hand. If any of your listeners had played the most recent Midweek Magic Historic Pauper event, the WotC team came into our Pauper Discord server, snooped around for a little bit, and adopted our community ban list for that event.
That is cool.
Which was awesome.
That's so cool.
If previously you were getting wrecked by Cranial Ram and Galvanic Blast, those are banned in Historic Pauper on our server, and because it's just been so oppressive, you can like kill someone on turn 2 or 3. So we banned those, and then WotC took it for the last event. So like way more of a brewer's paradise now. And that was so cool.
Affinity always has its time in the sun in like every format ever before it has to get axed in some way.
It is. Affinity is a huge thing in Artisan, in Historic, and Timeless right now, but it's kind of been pushed down.
Do you get the
by
lands?
these faster decks. You do get the lands.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. That's crazy.
You get the lands in Pauper, too, because they're all on Arena.
That's true, and they're all common.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably enough for me to want to play in these formats. Actually, the other thing I want to see is like, can I play Boggles? I think that's my number one.
Yes, you can.
Oh, I'm out then. Never mind.
And we're running a timeless Artisan Cup right now, and there's a Boggles deck that's probably going to get into the top 8. So,
What about Racksack? Where are we at on that?
Racksack, I played that in Historic Artisan last Cup. I did very well. Lost in the top 8, but yeah, Racksack.
Artisan.
Jeff,
I guess
Jeff,
Artisan
you know this.
because
Zach,
you
you know
need,
this.
yeah, you get Oni Cold Temple, right?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
my
you need-
favorite archetype. I love it.
Yeah, you dirty rucksack players. It's too much math. There's too much math involved.
That's the thing. That's what makes it a great deck. You're like, ooh, my opponent's at 17. I do have 3 mana, though. Can I kill them?
Yeah, yeah. You just got to count. It's everything's 1, so you're like, all right, if I do this, it's 1, and then 2, and then another 1, and you just accumulate.
See, I like boggles where I just like put stuff on somebody and then I'm like, I just attack and like, it's just way too much damage. Like it has trample.
Yeah.
You can't. You're just.
It's
gonna
pretty
die.
rare a Boggles match comes down to like 1 point of health, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
It's either you do 48 extra
Huge
damage
blowout.
or you do nothing the whole game.
Yeah.
Artisan Boggles, Sheltered by Ghosts is an
hate
insane
that card.
Yeah. Hell on boggles. Hell yeah.
It's
My creature has
nuts.
it has ward 2 and hexproof.
I hate it because Rakdos doesn't have a good way to deal with it ever. Because like
Rakdos has, and many cards from both of these formats are now just like, they're just from Modern Horizons 3, but Accursed Marauder is the card to do that, because it specifically says non-token creature.
Yeah. Sacrifice non-tokens.
But then they cartouche of Solidarity.
Children's
in here.
Edict does that too, right?
Yeah.
You can
it also
choose.
says
You can choose
non-token.
token or non-token or something
Yeah, yeah.
else.
Or planeswalker.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of planeswalkers in Pauper?
In
Honestly, no, not Pauper, obviously not.
Obviously.
But Artisan, Sideboard, Tybalt, Rakish, Instigator, because there's a lot of like Jeskai control. It's gaining too much life.
That.
So those mono red boys and girls
Ooh.
are little Tybalt in the sideboard. Couple devils.
That's exciting. Wow, so like if I'm getting into the format, like I mean obviously like I'm gonna play Boggles and go into this, but if I'm looking for deck lists where I feel like there's a lot of like big websites like Untapped and like MTGA Zone and I don't know, maybe Goldfish would have specific arena ones, but I feel like most of the time they're just kind of like just Pauper in general. Where are the best places to find actual deck lists that you're looking for?
For Pauper, our Discord, we have like over, I think, 3,000 members now.
Holy shit.
It's very active. Every time there's a midweek Magic event that has anything Pauper related, we get an influx of 100 people, probably. And the channels are set up so we have like standard Pauper deck lists, standard Pauper discussion, same
Yeah.
for historic. And people flood that. And they're like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Oh,
And
that's
there's
so
a lot of like
cool.
excellent minds at work to try to do crazy things. You can storm in Pauper with Chatterstorm in Historic. It's possible.
Oh, because
With first day of
just 'cause-
class and a bunch of like mana reducers, you can storm off on turn 4.
Chatterstorm isn't banned on Arena, right? Because it's banned in regular Pauper, right?
It is, but it's not in Historic Pauper. So you can play you can play Teamer Chatterstorm.
I legit just thought that was banned because of so how divorced is like the arena versions of Pauper in like standard historic Pioneer from like paper Pauper?
There are a lot of paper Pauper staples that are missing from the arena client. So there are like complete decks and archetypes that are unplayable on arena just because of the lack of card availability.
Right.
But that kind of like forces creativity.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have done some very cool things in these formats. And that's like why I've been hooked because and that's why I have 4 uncommon wild cards left right now and like 8 commons. And I'm not joking about those numbers. I've burnt them all because I'm like, I want to build this deck. It seems so cool. And they're like, oh, crap.
I think that's one of the parts that appeals to me is the ability to brew. So I did want to ask about that because sometimes when you have a smaller community, one of two things can happen. Either it gets a little more, like kind of like the Pro Tour, where there's 3 different decks, really. Or sometimes it's like, these are what we think are the best decks, but there are no pro players who have come in and solved the format for us. Kind of.
There's like no big tournament that's like getting people
that has
really...
$100,000 on the line, so that people take it very seriously.
Totally.
And put all their time into it, because we know what happens in standard, right? that gets solved almost immediately, and it evolves over time for sure. But mostly we know all the best decks right away, and you might discover one or two down the road in a well-designed standard environment. Are these formats similar, or is it like someone just brews something, it ends up kicking ass, and then everyone's like, "Oh, we got a new player in town"?
In the like standard Pauper environment, which Zach was at the helm of, we found out what the strongest deck was, and we had to like issue a ban because in standard Pauper on Arena, mono white aggro just got all the toys in the new sets, and it's unstoppable. I think of the top 8, and
Zach, that's what you played, right?
Sure did, and I told him to do it. Don't tell anybody. It's like, hey man, if you want to do well, play this. It's a linear aggro deck that gets more value than anybody else.
We are huge White Weenie fans on the show.
Yeah, it was also partly because we've been trying to build like White Weenie in Standard for a while, or like every time there's a new set, we're like, oh, we could play White Weenie. And when Ryan's like, well, you could play White Weenie, I was like, well, I can't play it in the other format, so I think that I'll play it in this one.
And they keep giving us tools, and we're like, White Weenie has to be right around the corner, right? It has to be
it's got to be good now. It's got to be good now. And it constantly just gets...
And then Izzet is always the best deck, so...
If you cut 3 rarities from your deck and building pool, White Weenie is the best, so...
Yeah. I think even with... So, like, you know, the deck... so I played in the last, like, standard Pauper ladder that Ryan had run, and did... pretty good. Mostly I lost once, and it was from me just misplaying my deck a little bit. But you're just playing all the creatures that draw cards when they enter the battlefield, and you just attack, and then you get to play Leonardo and win the game. It kind of feels like Murders at Karlov Manor draft, where you like play a bunch of dudes, attack, play on the job, win the game.
So Leonardo must have been what got banned then.
It actually wasn't.
No, me as one of like the tournament organizers on the Discord server, we had like a week-long discussion about this, and everyone like posited a theorem as to what card should be banned and what is the engine, or like, okay, I think in WotC's mind, like if something deserves a ban, do you choose the engine or the things that produce the engine? And we kind of settled somewhere in the middle, and this is going to sound wacky to people who don't play this format, but we banned Salt Road Pack Beast.
What?
Yeah, see, Jeff's laughing because he hasn't played the format.
Hey, that was one of the better white commons in that set.
That was like the best white common. I remember picking that card. I'm fairly positive.
It's a great
that's why I'm pretty sure it didn't end up being the best white common.
Oh, okay,
which is a great like heuristic if you want to get into the format. It's like, what's the best performing common in a draft format? Or like, how do I build a constructed deck around that? So Salt Road Passpeak is insane.
I'm going to play Death Touch Frogs Tribal. Made a bunch of those recently.
Yeah, let's go.
Death Touch Manadork Frogs. I mean, that sounds pretty sick. But I will say, I think the last match I had played was against one of the admins of the Discord, and we just had a discussion afterwards. Like, if there was a card you would ban from your deck, what would it be? And I said Leo, because I was like, it's just the card that wins out of nowhere. Where I think there was a lot of board states where like I can't win unless I can randomly deal 7 damage. And like that just happened to be the thing. But I do think that the Salt Road Pack Beast makes more sense because Leo is like horrible on like an empty board, where if you top deck the Salt Road Pack Beast and you've been like flooding out a little bit, it's just so good, and it's bigger than a lot of everything else. Like it just
makes the deck much more robust rather than
yeah.
explosive. Like Leo's explosive and Salt Road Pack Beast is
the rationale we kind of decided on for banning this card is like when you're playing aggro and you're playing hyper aggro, the thing you sacrifice for speed is card draw.
And size.
Yeah.
And size. And this card did both. So it kind of like shored up the weaknesses of aggro in a way that was kind of toxic to the last 2 ladders was won by White Weenies. So we're like, all right, this deserves some looking at.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And
It's also like, do you want to kill the deck entirely or just make it not dominant? Right, those are two different things.
It's true. We want to keep aggro. We want to keep aggro strong because the second best card I would say in the format is Cryogen Relic. And
That's
there's a
one
lot.
I called as the best goblin.
Yeah, there's a lot of bounce decks and value, and with the dragons that just like you can't draw yourself out because you're putting your spells back in your deck and you're bouncing the relic and all of this, that, and the other. It's just grind. So having strong aggro that's not broken, and having control and value that can keep up with it is crazy. I didn't think I'd be in this place a year and a half ago, like arbitering and like helping issuing bans on common cards on Arena for a fan format. But here we are.
It's so cool, man. Like, what makes me really excited is that, like, I think that I've gotten to a place with Arena that like midweek magics are just like not really exciting anymore. Like, I don't pay attention to them really. They just kind of like happen. And I tend to, personally, if I see a midweek magic that's like, here's a constructed deck that we already built for you, go play it, I will play those ones because I don't have to do anything. I just have to be like, okay, I can click some buttons, I can drink a beer at the end of the night after a draft or something and just like play some matches. But I never want to sit and build something. But the fact that people are going in and seeing like Arena is playing standard Pauper and people are like, I want to build a deck for this. Where do I ask people questions? And they're finding you guys and then they're getting interested in this. That makes me feel so excited for Magic because
100%.
I just didn't really realize this was going on. This is so cool.
Yeah, like, in the wake of 9 million product releases a year and sets, like, I don't know, it feels like they're 3 weeks from each other. I know they're not, but like spiritually in my head, there's like, oh, there's another.
They're only like 6 weeks.
There's probably a pre-release tomorrow. Like, I don't know what's happening down the line.
I assume every weekend there's a pre-release.
There's a pre-release, just like every weekend there's an Arena Direct.
Yeah, the same thing. And then you find these kind of, I don't know, oases. Oases? What's the plural of oasis?
It depends. Are we talking about like the Mirage in the desert kind of deal, or are we talking about
that
the
one?
band? Oh, okay. Oases.
Gallagher's, you got it right. Nailed
The
it.
Gallagher's. That's right. Hey,
Yeah,
they
there
just
was
got
these-
back together, man.
We're not going to talk about that on the podcast right now.
It's tangent time.
Jeff's trying his hardest. Jeff's trying his hardest.
This is what editing is all about.
But for me, I was just to jump onto Zach's point a little bit. Part of discovering all of this that I really liked was it brought me back to discovering Magic when I was younger and all the cool stuff of like you would go to a store and you would bring your whatever, like exactly what you described, Ryan, your whatever deck that you had put together from a box of cards your dad's friend's son gave you or whatever, and you would get roasted, and then they would like tell you, oh, there's things you do in this game, like we have deck lists, we play this, there's formats, and there's this and there's that. And as much as I love Arena, there's a bit of like the human element removed from it and that discovery element kind of removed from it. And this is a way to bring that back. Like the first time, this was for planar standard, not one of the formats we're talking about today, but the first time I had to like just kind of chat with my opponent over Discord to organize a game, rather than just like click a button and have no communication with them at all.
Because it's like
It was
emotes
nice.
or whatever.
Yeah. It's like this kind of reminds me of what drew me to this game in the first place. Of,
Yeah.
There's this cool game and then it gets so much deeper as soon as you like go play with other people.
And one of the things I love about that specifically is that because of these like Discord things and people are just on there, they'll talk to you after your matches. It's like you're kind of sitting in like a resting local game store after a match. People are willing to talk to you. You can like take a picture of your deck and show it, and then people will be like, "Oh, I think I would have like cut this," or maybe you're running one too many lands or whatever. Like, have you tried this instead of that or whatever? And that kind of just like it re-sparked. I don't want to say the addiction, but it is the addiction to the game.
It is.
Yeah, let's be honest here.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
but also the magic of it. It's like you're it's this whole new world, and you're using cards that people literally leave on the table to make cool constructed decks and battle. And it's so much fun.
It really reminds me of playing Magic in like the 2000s or whatever, where the internet existed and people knew how to use them, but there were like forums and, Joe Schmo 2000 XYZ would share his version of some deck and claim that he won a PTQ with it or whatever, but you don't really know. And you don't know if that's a good deck or not, really. And nowadays, like at the click of a button, you have the best possible deck the format has to offer.
Yeah.
And this is kind of more like that day, where you can still go and find people who are super knowledgeable and experienced and willing to share it, but you go to Discord now instead of some weird forum that like doesn't exist anymore.
That was hosted on GeoCities circa
Yeah.
2002.
Yeah.
Or...
So, with that kind of in the air, would you be excited for a really big high-level tournament being like Timeless Pauper? Or would that possibly ruin the format?
This is something that's been discussed, not ad nauseum. One stage before that, I would say, on the servers. It's like there is a little bit of a gatekeeping aspect because we don't want WotC to get their grubby paws into what we're doing here.
They're already in, man. They're already in.
They already joined your.
list.
Yeah, they joined your server.
I know, and it was a blessing.
They're listening
and a
to the
curse.
podcast right now.
That's
they know
right.
you're saying this.
They've got eyes everywhere, man. The thing is, and we've discussed this, and I've discussed it with the admins and stuff too. It's like we want to keep this ban list, and we want to keep control of it, and. It might be very, very tempting for a lot of people to be like, oh, I really want a historic Pauper queue on Arena. But then it's controlled by WotC, and I don't know. It's really hard to say, and I'm kind of two minds because it would be nice to be able to click a button and get a queue and get a game, but as we just discussed, the element of like typing into Discord, hey, I'm looking for game historic Pauper, I'm here for 30 minutes, is anyone around, is more core to the game and the game that I remember and the game that I like learned. So
Yeah.
I would like to keep that aspect of it more than anything.
Yeah, because like I'm like not in a standard Discord and saying, hey, looking for a standard game. Like I'm just never going to do that because I can just do that on Arena in a second.
Exactly.
And I'm not in the space where I'm like testing decks or like, getting ready for a tournament or something like that where I actually need to do some practicing and I want to work on a matchup. But like it would probably make it so people aren't looking for games on Discord anymore, where they're just clicking the button. And
that is exactly the thing that we've like highlighted. Like, well, then this Discord is kind of defunct, except for like people just posting the deck that they went 7-0 with in a challenge or whatever.
Exactly. Which is still fun. Like it's still fun to do that, but the actual heart of that Discord would be kind of gone, which would be
like I don't want to use like I'm loath to use the word like counterculture because it's not counterculture, but it's kind of like subverting the existing formats, and there's something kind of cool about that. Maybe a little hipster about it, and I'm into that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, hey man, have you heard of Standard Pauper?
Yeah,
Come on, man.
It's true. I mean, it is also very exciting because like I think that Arena is very accessible as far as like a game. It teaches you how to play the game really well. I don't think it's extremely expensive, but a lot of people do consider it to be an expensive way to play Magic. I still want to fight them on that, but this is a really great way. Like getting cards for Pauper decks is much easier on Arena than it would be. Well, not saying that as opposed to in paper, though I will say I've been interested in Pauper for a while. I have some paper Pauper decks. I do have a Boggles deck in paper.
Of course you do.
Yeah, of course, of course I do. But like when I would go to local Pauper events, they'd be like 5 people, 4 people. You know, like you just don't have enough to play a whole thing, and then like I can't spend my entire evening going to do this that like nobody's showing up to, and I want to be helpful and be part of it, but it's hard when you know, life is, you know, just keeps going, and now I have no time to do that. So being able to do it online seems really great, and being able to rope in anybody that's like, well, arena seems expensive. What if you only play with the commons or the uncommons and commons?
Yeah.
It seems
I
like
feel
it
like
easier,
like
so.
a bit of a missionary for these formats. Like people I play with in paper or my friends who play Magic, I'm like, hey, I'm sending you the Discord invite like right now. You
That's
should join. Hey, look at the look for game thing. Hey, we're doing
yeah,
like
yeah.
a ladder in like a week. You in on that? We're doing a like an artisan historic
I,
cup in like 2 weeks. You wanna
so
jump in?
everybody out there, I was drafted, I forcefully by Riot.
I got you.
And I cannot wait for the next one. Mostly because, so everyone out there, like, there's a lot of like dads who listen to our podcast, or parents at least, and time is very valuable, which is one of the reasons why we like playing on Arena, right? I can play at my house. I still get to play Magic. It doesn't clog up a closet. Like I don't have more cards and cards and cards everywhere, and one of the great things about the standard ladder, or the standard Pauper ladder, is that it was just weekly. As far as like, it wasn't like weekly you play the event. It was like you just have to find a time during the week to play your opponent, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of been like when I joined the server and started doing these events, I could just kind of like took their template and they're like, all right, you have 1 week to complete your match with your opponent. I'm like, this is great because we have people from all over the world, which is amazing, playing these formats. So it's like, all right, my opponent is in Germany, and we have 1 week to figure out when a time lines up for us, and 1 week seems like perfect. And we, as like, I guess like I'm admin adjacent as a tournament organizer. We talked about like when in the week do you start and finish the week, and Monday was the best day. So you have the whole work week and the weekend to figure out when you can play with your opponent, and it's been a slam dunk.
I do have to say, like, this was my first time doing it, and I loved it. Like, I originally was like, oh, I don't know. There's a whole scheduling thing, which is one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of D&D, because that's what that game feels like majority of the time. But wow, it was like usually pretty simple. And like oftentimes we'd like try to schedule something, and then I could like get off of work. I'd be home, it'd be like 11:30, and I'd just be like on the Discord like, "Hey, I'm here if you like are around." And they'd be like, "Yeah, I could play right now." And then we would just play, and I'd be like, "Sick! That was so easy." Like, it was
It's one of those
great.
things that sounds like a blocker until you try it, and you're like, oh, this is actually not a big deal at all. It's
Yeah,
actually
it was like-
convenient as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, a week is good. A week is good. I've been finding, just gonna go off a little bit. You can cut this from the show if you want. But like weeks 5 and 6, what people in the lower brackets, they're like, I don't really want to play anymore. I don't care. And I'm like,
All
well,
tournaments. That,
Just,
right?
Yeah.
just drop. Don't make me
Just drop.
chase you down.
It's
I
the
don't wanna.
perplexing thing about tournaments. People want to drop, but don't officially do it all the time in every tournament. And,
Okay, good.
you know,
I'm glad
people
this
around
is-
the world have had to deal with this.
Yeah. Where they just disappeared, like, whatever. Because, like, to them, they've decided it means nothing to them. But, like, we need you to finish. I did notice that, but that's, what are you going to do?
Can you please just click the button on MTG Melee so I don't have to hound you anymore? That would be so nice.
Yeah, but that's, it's the cross that you have to bear, right? It's the same thing as,
Truly.
like, being a fantasy football commissioner where you're like, pay your dues.
I was
going to
say that. It's like when when like you pitch for something and everyone has to send you their money for it, and a few people send it right away, but then you're stuck tracking people down for the rest of the...
Jeff, I just want to give you a shout out. You paid first for the Secrets of Strixhaven draft we did in person, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. And actually, everyone paid within 2 days.
Hey,
Ooh.
that is good.
That is really good.
I have good friends, and I love all of you.
I always
great.
try to do it immediately because otherwise I will forget, right? So it's just like, let's just do this now.
100%.
It's on my head. It's on my
literally,
mind.
yeah.
You know, Wealth Simple makes it so easy to do it.
We're going to talk about Wealth Simple offline afterwards because
Oh,
I need
right.
to
Yeah.
get some investments going. But
Okay. People who don't know, Jeff works at Wealthsimple, just so you know. Like,
If you're American, it's like Canadian Robin Hood, basically.
do they not have that in the States? I felt like I knew what Wealthsimple was when I was in the States.
They
I also knew what
expanded,
Robinhood
but it
was.
was ill-advised, and then they retracted. So it might like
Gotcha.
have there's some people that technically use it there, but they decided that it wasn't the
Gotcha.
right move
Well,
after all. And
I did download Robinhood when I was in the States, so I do know what that is, actually. But anyway, away from investment things.
yeah.
And back to cards that cost 0.1 cent. That would be great.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I
Well-
wanted to touch on, the costing a little bit, because now you're in the fun position of you actually don't have the wild cards you need to craft your decks.
I know it actually it sucks a lot, and I feel weird about it.
And
because-
Arena's a little not designed to help you get out of that situation, right?
No, if I could downshift a rare into like, I don't know, 4 uncommons or 8 commons, I would do it in a heartbeat. If I could trade somebody, I would do that too. But I don't think they're ever going to implement that.
If you could trade one rare into one common, would you do it?
Yes,
That's insane, Ryan.
Wow,
Insane.
that's insane. That's crazy.
I would trade you a mythic for an uncommon right now, and I'd give you 20.
Okay, so this is a discussion we've had a lot, because for us, the most common pattern is that you have no rare wildcards. You have plenty of mythics and uncommons and commons.
All
But
those
and we're like,
lands are
we would
rare.
downshift these mythics, just let me do it.
Yeah, I've gone more insane than that.
Yeah, you've got off
so
the
much
deep
fun.
end.
That's so crazy. That's so crazy.
Like, dude, I don't have Foreboding Ruins. I need that. I'll give you mythics for it. I need it. It's like the best.
I think I
dual
have like a
lands
dozen of
for
them.
Fuck.
I'd
Am I
trade
allowed
them
to swear
you.
on this podcast? Shh.
Yeah, we're drinking beer, Ryan. Of course you can.
It's not a kid's
Yeah, because
show.
it's so it's so funny because like in paper popper, some of the things like when I went to Japan, I bought a bunch of Japanese cards, and one thing I was like, I'm just gonna get a bunch of popper staples. So I got like counter spells, lightning
Sick.
bolts. I have like the Tron lands. I bought snuff outs and stuff like that. I was just like, but you know, they could get a little pricey. You know, I have a playset of Italian lotus petals. And
Awesome. That's
but
very
like,
cool.
but those are like expensive. This is for a format I don't actively play. You know what I mean? I have them.
an
I'm not
investment.
playing them. Yeah, is it? It's just kind of cool.
So you sell it to your wife.
Yeah, she
This will be
can
worth
see right through me.
hundreds in 20 years.
The reason I married her is because she sees through all my bullshit, and so, yeah, that doesn't work. But it is funny because like when we're talking about decks, as far as Arena goes, we get to be like, hey, Shieldred is the same price as all the other junky like rares or mythics or whatever. So like
True.
you don't have like, so like building the best deck on Arena is just as expensive as building a janky deck. Like they're the same price,
Yeah.
and you don't get the I built a brew with cards nobody knows what they are or cares what they are because they're like 50 cents. But it's weirdly the same.
It almost
in
discourages that, right? Because, like, am I going to craft living lore on Arena when I could craft something, that people actually...
I love that you brought up Living Lore. I know in your heart of hearts, Jeff, that's one of your favorites, and I'm with you, man. I have a playset and a binder over there somewhere.
Somewhere in my basement, I have 4
Yeah.
living lores.
But as far as like in like when you're playing Pauper or Artisan, it is also the same thing. But it's just like the really expensive ones are also just as cheap, but also the same thing. You're dealing
Right.
with this
Because Pauper decks can get expensive in paper.
Oh hell
they
yeah,
can
yeah. Like what does
Especially
a
the old
lightning bolt cost? Like $2 or $3? Then you're already like up 12, and then like artifact lands and all of that as well.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
it's always the lands, right? The lands always kill your
And what they've done for Artisan recently is added days, which is huge.
So that's one of my questions too. So days and all the mystical archive stuff that were like they are commons. Now I'm fairly positive Wizards recently changed the thing where like when you're crafting the rares and mythics from mystical archive that were previously commons and uncommons,
Yeah,
it goes down, right?
to the lowest
To the lowest.
craftable rarity.
But it still looks like a rare on Arena. So you still get to play days, even though it like comes up as a rare in Arena.
Yeah, and this is a solely a problem for me and my compatriots in the Pauper and Artisan communities. Is like, can we please pay a rare for those cards? Because we have more of those. Can we please play a mythic?
That's hilarious.
Fuck! It cost me
I don't want to use a common.
Listen, you don't understand until you get into it. It's a precious resource, and
Yeah, I've
they
been
are
playing
finite.
a long time, and I don't think ever used
That
my
is-
common wildcards. So I have a lot.
Because I've done the thing where I like there's a new set that comes out and I've spent all my common and uncommon wild cards just to craft all of the cards in the set. And
Must
then
be nice, Zach. Must be nice.
I'm just saying that like that's the where I am in the hierarchy of it, of like I just don't need these. And so it just seems like such a wild thing that I would ever be in your position. But I do hope to be. I hope to be in that space where
That'd
I'm
be a
like,
lot of Pauper decks.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
gotta chug like 4 liters of this Kool-Aid and give it 8 months, and you'll be like, "Fuck, I need a common wild card
Yeah.
more than anything in the world right now."
And so are you basically, when you said that when you're playing Arena, you're playing like Pauper and Artisan on these Discord servers, are you not drafting?
I'm drafting to get more commons and uncommons that I want. Everyone
What's
in
the
these
opposite of rare
servers,
drafting?
yeah.
So your no pass list is just the commons and uncommons of the set?
Listen, when something comes up on Quick Draft in both
Yeah.
of these Discords, people are like, "These are the cards you need to get." Okay, Quick Draft is up. You need to get these because they are staples for the format.
You're trading like 1,500 gems or whatever for 3 common wildcards.
Quick draft is
I-
only 750, buddy. Come on. But that's so funny. That's so
Truly,
funny.
this is what happens, and like in the Discord service will pop up. We're like, "Add everybody. This is happening." If Modern Horizons 3 comes back on Quick Draft, it's going to be bananas. It's going to be absolutely insane.
Because that's the
Well,
one
for
with the
everybody.
mythic common, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's
Where
so
the
many.
common was the best card in the set.
Oh yeah, do you guys do Writhing? Do you play Writhing Chrysalis and any
That is
deck?
a format staple.
Okay,
in
I just
historical
want to
Pauper.
make sure. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Jund, Wildfire / Writhing Chrysalis is.
It's such an outrageous common. I remember playing
It's
like my
so
first draft
good.
of that format and running into it and being like, "What the fuck is this thing? And why is it a common?"
It's so silly. It's so silly.
Yeah, I kind of hated that draft format like a lot.
And in no small part because of that card.
It was because I didn't want to play the Eldrazi thing, and I was basically forced to.
Yeah. I can relate.
I don't want to say that set was a mistake, but maybe it was. No, you know what? I'm saying it. That set was a mistake, and it broke every single format, including our dog shit person form. Yeah, it broke everything.
It's just so well. All of the modern. I don't want to. All the Modern Horizon sets were doing something that Magic. They kind of promised they weren't going to do, and so just know, everybody out there, if you think that your format is safe, it's not. And the more we talk about this right now, Pauper, just wait until there's Pauper Horizons, and it's just an all common draft set, and all the cards are busted. It's just like downshifts of stuff. Because like, was it Dreadbore came down to a common on
Oh, yeah.
through Pioneer Masters,
Yeah.
which like I don't know if that counts for Paper Pauper as like a. It probably does actually. They just say if it's common anything, right? Because
Honestly,
like they care about.
Dreadbore is kind of common level these days. Maybe uncommon, I could see.
Well, yeah, because of the power creep and stuff. Yeah, Dreadbore. It's
I
just
guess
it's kind of mid as far
It's
as
pretty
like
mid,
arena
yeah.
pop.
I
like
I just mean that it's possible. Any card it could happen to. And
It's
the
true.
card I want it to happen to the most is SRAM, Senior Edificer.
I
And,
don't know that that's going down a rarity, man.
Could we get a uncommon? Maybe just push it down.
I'd take uncommon. I'd build that deck. That sounds sick.
Yeah, right. But I don't know. Anyway, I did want to
Uncommon,
ask.
maybe. I think there's
Yeah,
a rule on like how many cards a common can draw you. It's like if it can theoretically draw you and like not
There are
not
uncommon.
rules, but like internal sort of design.
There are uncommon enchantressy effects. They're just not one color and only 2 mana. I did want to ask. So obviously the difference between Artisan and Pauper is like uncommons. But like as far as archetypes go, are there huge like is there a big sea between the two? Does it feel like Pauper is very just like not nearly as complex as Artisan, just because the uncommons has become so crazy in the last few years?
I'll say yes, and it doesn't matter what format it is. We do something. I'll just like preface you guys with this. So, in the Pauper thing, there's not something we don't have timeless Pauper on that Discord.
Okay.
But historic Pauper is the most common because of the midweek magic events and stuff. Standard Pauper second, and then we have something that we're calling vintage Pauper, which takes the paper legality of any card on Arena.
Got it. Okay.
So you can play Lightning Bolt, Counterspell, Delver, all of that shit. Yeah, Refurbished Familiar, which we've banned in Historic Pauper because it was that deck, that black-red artifact deck was so oppressive, and I wish I could play it because it's so much fun.
What's wrong with black-red artifact decks being good?
I mean, you cast a 1-mana spell that either discards or draws and gives you a 2/1 flyer.
That's all right.
It's fair, right?
That's a good card. I picked that a lot in that draft format.
Galvanic Blast, 4 to the face for 1. That's fair. That's fair. In commons? Yeah, it's fine.
You have to have 3 artifacts.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
But what if they're their lands or...
Back in my
Oh,
day,
well.
you had to like sacrifice 2 mountains to do that.
Hey, that card's still good.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's still does.
Free spell? Great.
So, is there a reason why you're calling it vintage instead of timeless, since it's on Arena?
Vintage, I think, just because of the paper legality, and I don't know
Okay.
the mods.
Like if you call it timeless Pauper, it sounds like commons on Arena.
Right.
Any comment
as
on
opposed
Arena?
to
Yeah.
instead of just
Which
like
is kind of
vintages.
what you were talking about earlier, Zach, of like, is Lightning Bolt allowed or not? Like, it's a rare on
Yeah.
Arena.
If we know anything about Magic, the 3 of us, which country loves Pauper the most? It's
Italy.
fucking Italy, hands down. You know who loves Artisan the most?
I saw this answer in the Discord, so.
Brazil.
That seems
It's crazy.
so interesting.
Yeah.
I would never guess.
But then the Artisan server is run by an Italian with a lot of Brazilians in the fold. But
So if I
they're
play
very
Pauper, I'm playing against Mangucci. And if I play Artisan, I'm playing against PVDDR.
Yep. That is correct. Yeah, you're going to be playing Pro Tour level Hall of Famers
The best
every
player
time
of
you
all
log
time.
on to Arena.
Do they hold Paupergeddon? Is that in Italy every year?
It was in
Actually,
Italy
don't.
this year.
Okay.
Yeah, and they had like
Which is-
over 1,000 people turn out.
Which is nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
but I've heard from some of the American members of the Artisan Discord that like local game stores are running Artisan tournaments.
and
in
yeah,
paper.
which is crazy to me. So like everyone in the podcast and stuff, like we've been talking about our peasant cube for a long time, and peasant is what we had always referred to as commons and uncommons as like a format, right? Peasant was like the name, and Jeff could never remember the difference between pauper and peasant, and so it was very evident, I think, to the WotC team that they needed a new name, and they renamed it Artisan when Arena came out, or whenever they decided to do that on Arena.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been adopted by the paper community, and this is one of the first times I've heard that this is like becoming a paper thing.
It's crazy. There's people who are joining the Artisan Discord who are like, all right, I've got this paper list. Like, my LGS has a meta. I need to, like, subvert this meta. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a fan format that we play online with people in Italy and Brazil.
This isn't
I'm sorry, you're going to your
local
LGS
thing.
in Baltimore? What?
Yeah. And, like, that is awesome.
Amazing. It's so cool. I don't know. Maybe we should, like, record that part, but...
I just think that's awesome. I just think that's like such an interesting. That's such an interesting thing. I don't know. It's like we said before. It reminds me of what Magic used to be in my mind, even if it wasn't necessarily something I actually did or was a part of. I mean, like we were all part of the group that went and played weekly drafting, you know, at a spot that would like service beer at the same time, and that was like the prerequisite is like you have Magic and beer, and that's all I'm looking for.
It's literally forged the rest of my life. So
yeah, like I mean, like yeah, literally with what you're doing, because at the time you weren't were you homebrewing when I first met you?
I only homebrew because of Jeff. The reason I'm in this industry is because of him. And I say that to everyone else except when Jeff says left. I'm like, hey, that's the guy who got me into the industry. The only reason I'm here, pointing to Fairweather at large, is because of that guy who's driving away in the Pacifica with a keg of Snapio.
That I got half off, so...
Yeah.
Goddamn right. I'll hook you up every time.
That's so nice.
Well, I was into beer brewing kind of for a while, and then when you expressed an interest in it, I was like, come over to my apartment, let's figure this out. And then Ryan was immediately way better at it than me, so...
And
we like, wait, he'd be like, try this beer that I made last week, you know, a month later or something. I'd be like, what is this, your second time ever making it? This is awesome. It's so delicious.
I got so hooked. I was like homebrewing like between shifts. I'm like, I got 3.5 hours. I could do it. I'm like, this is fucked. You're not supposed to do that. Homebrewing is like a whole day activity. I'm like, I got 4 hours. I call Brett. He would come over. I'm like, hey man, we got to fucking mash in right now. Let's go. Get all the pots of water on the stove. Get it in the cooler. We're stirring in grain.
That's
Jesus. Stir faster, motherfucker. We need to incorporate.
Wait, that's so funny. Because, like, I mean, like me, like Jeff got me interested in brewing beer, and so I've brewed some, but none of them have been good. But me and Jeff brewed a beer together that we did for like our 100th episode of the podcast. You can go back and listen to that episode if you want to hear about it. But it was an literally all day event. And well, we were drinking the whole time, so like that does make it a little bit harder.
Takes beer to make beer.
Yeah,
100%. Sure does.
It was also really windy, and we were using like the this like gas heater or like propane
I had to
thing.
clean the pot after because Jeff didn't set the heat right.
That's right. You like
You had
messaged
big
me about that.
red flame. You just wanted small blue flame, and like, I mean, I got you.
I learned that from you. That I was like, how am I going to clean this thing? And you're like, just bring it over to the brewery. I'll clean it for you.
Okay, so episode 300, just come to Fairweather. We can homebrew at Fairweather. I've done it twice.
That would
and it's
be
way easier, and you could do so much content.
Cool.
And our social media guy, Sam, that Jeff has played Magic with twice now, he's super cool.
Oh, Sam
would,
is like
come and film it.
The nicest guy ever, I feel like.
Wait,
I think he is.
I think we have to do this now. It sounds really cool.
What episode is this?
236.
236.
Yeah, so that's
Let's do
like
250.
250.
Yeah, 250 is a lot closer.
No, that's summertime, and we're fucking crazy. So we get
No,
maybe 275. How's that sound?
I think 300 makes a bit more sense. It's further in the distance, but it's
Right.
261.
Oh my god.
You guys are weekly with breaks, so we're looking at like 64 days, maybe 70 days from.
I don't know math.
Or 70 weeks,
Don't,
sorry.
don't ask me math things.
Hey Jeff, what about this math thing?
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think originally I had a question. Mostly what I was going to bring up was that, like, in Artisan and Pauper, as we can pull us back to this, there's no board wipes, basically. There are some effects
I
that
guess
will
you
kill
would get
small
those
creatures.
Yeah, those -2/-2 like black cards. They always print.
Fire magic is
That's one of
That's
the
a good
best
one.
ones.
is
Yeah.
a staple across all Artisan formats. That thing is insane. Jeskai Control in Artisan is a cross-format archetype, and Fire Magic and Lightning Helix are like staples in all of those. But
God, Fire Magic's so good.
the best sideboard card in Artisan is Ruinous Rampage. Do you guys know this card from Edge of Eternities? Exile all artifacts with CMC 3 or less. Hits lands, hits all your shit,
Oh, the land.
toast.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it is a one-sided Armageddon board wipe combo. But the thing is about Affinity is that, like, I cast that against an Affinity opponent in a test match, and they recovered and beat me. That's how powerful the fucking deck is because of this one motherfucking card, Landlore Navigator. Look it up right now.
I will.
What is that?
It's
Is
one
that-
in a blue. It's an orc, and if like 3 or more
Oh.
artifacts enters the turn, you get a thieving magpie. It is fucked.
Right. So Ryan, you're talking about a card that
Only
it's
2
like
artifacts have to enter.
Yeah, it's insane. You're getting a thieving magpie every turn.
And it creates a map token itself by attacking.
Yeah, we haven't banned it yet because not enough people have been playing Affinity because everyone's trying to beat Affinity, and then in the tournaments there's just kind of like meta game.
So you're telling me I should just play Affinity and help you ban this card? Because I'll do
Yes,
it.
please. Yes, please.
Yeah, I will do that.
I've said those exact words to people I've been playtesting with again
Mm-hmm.
in the Artisan Discord. I'm like, can you please play this so I can get this banned?
So I have a reason to ban it.
Yeah, and
Well-
the guy said, I'm a spike. Yes, I'm going to play this thing. I'll help you get it banned. I'm like, great. Thank you.
Because Ryan, I previously helped you ban another card in the standard Pauper, so I would like to continue this.
2 for
Classic
2.
Zach just getting cards banned.
Zach.
Has the inside info on the best deck.
He's a hero. He's a man of the people.
But
Playing
yeah,
the
anyway,
fucking most oppressive deck to ban the cards that everyone wants to get banned.
Landlord Navigator is one of the like alchemy cards, like the digital only ones for all of you who are not to privy to this. But Thieving Magpie, God, I love that card. 1/3 flyer, when it deals damage, draw a card. God.
I have the 7th edition art in my head. I hope that's what it creates. If it creates anything else, I'll be outraged.
I
don't
know
think
the 7th
so.
merge, but
The 7th edition one is definitely not the one I think of, honestly. I think of the like OG Thieving Magpie. That the art is also in 9th edition. It's like putting ornaments into like a tree thing, as opposed to the one where it's stealing from the merchant who's looking at something.
That's the 7th edition one, yeah.
Yeah.
And the white border. You need the white border.
You're the
Oh, I
white
love
border.
white border. Real quick, when can we just get white border on Arena? I want my cards to be white bordered. It seems so easy, and also you could charge so much for it, and I would pay money.
Truly.
I would. God,
If they released something that was like convert all art to 7th edition art and borders to white border, oh, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
oh yeah, that would be wild. Honestly, just bring back 7th edition to Arena.
Just put 7th edition on Arena. There we go.
Just put it on
Solved
Arena.
it.
7th edition Premier Draft. Let's go.
I would
Yeah.
love that so much.
I don't know what's in 7th edition.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Play it.
It'd
It'd probably be so bad, but I love Core Set Limited. I have a
love Core Set
nostalgic
Limited,
attribution to 7th edition, and that would be great.
They stylize the sevens so well too.
Oh,
It's
my
like
God.
it's got the little like it's got the
yeah.
filigree,
The
it's got the
sleek
cross in
little
the middle.
seven.
It's sick.
It's just like I didn't realize because I started playing around 7th edition. Like 7th edition was my first like starter set thing. That was my first one of my first Magic products. I didn't understand how important it was that they were like, we're doing a core set, all reprints, all new art. Like, what a cool concept. Like, they're never going to do that again, I feel like. Because, like, there are a lot of 7th edition haters out there. And I don't get it. Just because it's just different. They're like, oh, that's not what London War Elves is supposed to look like. I'm like, yeah, but it's purposely different. I don't know. I like that as an art enjoyer and in the world of all this stuff. But it does remind me, Ryan, we have talked a lot about like paper and arena and the differences and stuff. Are you interested in trying to get what paper Pauper is onto arena? Is that like a goal of in anyone's mind? Is like, oh man, if only it had these cards, then we could be as close to paper as possible.
There's been a lot of discussion on that in the Discord, specifically because we're missing some of the sweepers, like the neg 2 stuff. And it's like, oh, can we kind of like retrofit this card that's actually an uncommon to do the same thing, but then we have to add more addendums to the rule set.
It gets complicated,
Yeah.
It gets complicated. So if we could just like have a facsimile of it in a real card on Arena that's printed at common. Printed at common is like huge for the Discord. Like we need it to be printed at common on Arena. So for historic, that is the like litmus test if you can play it. If they made like an alchemy card, it's like, hey, all opponent's creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. It costs 2 black and 1. Cycles for 2, maybe. That would be swell. But yeah, like we're loath to add specific cards to break the common rule set.
I agree with that.
yes,
that should be
I
a really
would like
high
it.
bar if you're ever going to do that, right? Like,
Yeah, and that's why the formats that were like that are most complicated to arbitrate are vintage Pauper, because it's like anything that's been printed at common. So we need to like write a whole list of the cards that are legal and illegal because of their common printing.
Right, because you would have to, because normally you don't have to go through everybody's deck list and like check, because like Arena is very obvious with those types of things. But in this case, it would be like you have to go to Scryfall, and if it says it's legal in Pauper, then you can do it or whatever.
It adds an extra step. It adds an extra step for the people who are playing in the tournament, because you have to like upload it to say Moxfield or whatever, or, like check legality and Pauper before you re-upload it on Arena. And just like having these extra steps is kind of it's tedious. It's kind of a barrier to entry. And I've run one vintage Pauper ladder on the server. We got like a decent turnout, like 22 people. I would say is decent. But
that seems good.
that's great, yeah.
But like I had to write rules addendums of like these cards are legal, these are not. Like yes, you can play Delver, it's printed at common, only on Arena. You can play Snuff Out, you can play Lightning Bolt, you can play Counterspell. Like you can't play XYZ like that. It was just kind of a pain. Like as a tournament organizer, I wish it was a bit easier.
Yeah.
For me, who's saying go, you play you play you, kind of thing. But
Do you ever run into people being like, my opponent played a rare?
and I've had that like
Yeah.
as a tournament organizer. I'm playing standard Pauper, and when you look up standard and Pauper, Nameless Aversion is printed at common, but it's printed at uncommon in lore when eclipsed, so it's like
Right.
not a legal standard Pauper card, but it is
Right.
printed at common. Like this kind of horseshit,
Like,
to be honest.
yeah.
Like, why did you upshift it? There's no reason to. But
For
now
the
it'd be
draft
like,
format is
hey
fine.
For
man,
the
you
draft
can't
format.
do that. Yeah, for the draft format. Because it's a goblin, it's a fairy, whatever. Yeah, all of the things.
Well, and it's just kind of a reminder to everyone that like rarities are for packs and stuff, and a lot of the shifting and upshifting and stuff. All of it
Exactly.
is about the as fan of when you're drafting. Is how often do you want to see this card? Obviously, we've seen kind of a change as soon as play boosters came around. Like you can get packs with like 5 uncommons, and like you can get packs with like 4 rares, 5 uncommons, and then like basically no commons, which is bizarre. Probably hurts
Yeah.
your collection. Like you do you hate those
Exactly.
packs?
Ryan's like,
Man,
fuck!
if I
That's
could
all
open
it is.
if I could open arena pack and there's 0 rares but like 15 other cards that are commons and uncommons, I'd be way happier than I am right now. Like, just
God,
give
that's
me
so
that.
funny.
I'll take 3 basic lands. I don't give a shit. I just need
Yeah.
the commons and uncommons.
Yeah. God, that's funny. But yeah, I can see how frustrating that is because Nameless Inversion is one of the cards that I have in one of my Pauper decks that I was like, oh, this is cool.
It's
and
cool.
when I
It's a
s-
dragon, and dragons are huge in standard Pauper because of Tarkir Dragonstorm. Like it's great. I wish we could use that in standard Pauper because
Yeah.
it's a cool thing you can do.
Yeah. Because so before this, I was trying to build a Pauper deck on Arena, and there isn't like a you can't pick Pauper as like your
Right.
deck type, right? Even though it's a midweek Magic archetype. How much would that help your guys' stuff? Like, is that like what you would? Because if they had like a hey, this is your Pauper deck, and then it only shows you Pauper playable cards, but Daze is in there, Lightning Bolt's in there, all that stuff. Would that be a solution? Like, could you put Nameless Inversion in there because it is printed at common somewhere else, or would
Yeah,
you just be like,
You could play that in vintage Pauper, and there's
Right.
this tremendous human. I just want to plug him now. His name is Dan. He's a coder. He has created this thing called the MTGA Enhancement Suite, and he has essentially created a web browser-based matchmaking system for these fan-made formats. And he's been consulting with us in the Arena Pauper Discord to like get these legalities set so we can make code that checks your deck.
wow,
It's a Windows only thing right now, but you can join lobbies if you're on Mac or Android or whatever. It is super cool. This guy he's doing a lot for these fan made communities.
that's amazing.
And yeah, so like the application or like web-based application that is made will like check against the legality list and be like, yes, no, this is legal. You can create a lobby and you can join, and then it'll like trigger it in Arena. It's super cool.
That's
It
awesome.
is.
That's-
It hasn't
that
been
is awesome.
integrated into Artisan yet, but he's been like lurking around our chats and stuff. So I think that might be the next step.
Wow, that seems great. Yeah, man, this gets me just like so. I don't know, just excited for like I really want to brew a deck. I know that I've been talking up like how much I want to play Boggles, but
It's valid.
brewing something seems nice. Like this was kind of in our what we were saying in many episodes ago. Me and Jeff were just like wanting to play like standard brews, but it seems like less exciting to brew in standard. That's why we were kind of drawn to planar standard and drawn to Pauper and Artisan and stuff. Kind of on a different tangent, I did want to ask for people who want to get involved with this but want to be as prepared as possible. What are the things they need to do to be prepared? So like, are there certain websites they need to go to and have accounts for already? Maybe like matchmaking accounts, or like where the tournaments are run, or like we're gonna put links for all the like Discords and stuff in the show notes. But are there other things that people should be prepared for before they step into these types of tournaments?
There'd be like two things I will say. One, make an MTG Melee account, and
Okay.
make that Melee account as close to your MTG Arena handle as possible. I have had this problem as a tournament organizer over and over again, where people are like, I can't find my opponent because they try to at them in the Discord because they see them on the Melee tournament match page, and they've got like three different names, and then I have to dig. I have to find the arena handle. I have to like check it against the MTJ Melee handle. I'm like, all right, I think it's this guy, and I need to confirm with them. Just make it one for my sake and any tournament organizer and MTG Melee going forward. It just makes it so easy. I have one. It's Sithroth. It's fine. You can find me. You can find me anywhere. I've picked one across the board. I'll add 17 numbers at the end of it. But please just make it the same for my sake and your opponent's sake.
And for yourself, because it could get confusing trying to remember all your different names.
100%. You can use the same password. I don't know. I'm not a
Whoa,
data
whoa,
analyst.
whoa,
Or like,
whoa.
Jeff says it now. Just add
Use a
a
password
exclamation
manager,
point.
folks. Everyone should use a password manager.
Password 123 exclamation point.
That's so you're saying that all of our passwords should be password manager. Got it. Okay. Perfect.
Correct. A great Canadian company called 1Password. It's really easy to use. It lets you just
Alright.
use one password, but that password is for the manager, and then that manages all your other passwords.
Oh.
Look at it.
Never heard of this in my entire life. I just use a handful of passwords that all are slightly different, which is the worst way to do it, and that's what everybody does.
So ease of access to your opponent is great.
Yeah.
If you have the same name as your MTG handle and your Discord handle and your arena handle, it makes you so much easier to find. It's less like downtime for tournament organizers and like flooding of the Discord pages. And then just like join the Discords, get in there, post your deck, let people give constructive criticism. These people are not rude. They'll be like, hey man, have you considered this? Maybe this, maybe this. Oh, your archetype is very similar to this. Let me like link you to this page or whatever. All of the people I've encountered in the Pauper and Artisan Discords have been so nice
Yeah.
and so helpful, and like a lot of excellent players exist in these formats. And you'll get some competition. Like if you're a Spike and you want to like try to brew in this format, you're gonna get some competition who are people who like really thought about the game. And you'll get some excellent games with high stakes turns and sequences
And
for commons and uncommons.
even if you're someone who just wants to copy a deck list that your friend forced you to pick and play so you could get a card banned for them, it's a blast. I have a lot of fun.
I would never do anything like that.
But I just have to say, getting involved in some of these other things, like people always say, go to your LGS, support your LGS. I also think that you should be supporting some of these like Discord things. Like, try to find time in your Magic schedule at your house. If you're like, man, I'm just cracking some beers and I'm looking for some games, I just want to do some ladder or whatever. Maybe think about, hey, I could join this other thing. I could have a little project every week. I try to build a little deck, and then I just play against somebody. Even if you're not joining one of the big tournaments, if that seems like a little bit too much for you, maybe just jump in. Maybe find somebody. Maybe you play against that same person a couple times, and then you can branch out and meet more people. And like, this Magic community is a community. Like the whole purpose is to talk and engage with people. That's why we're here. That's why we have Ryan here. That's what we're trying to do. Like, I don't know. It's just nice.
Totally.
Play
Just-
against
just
people.
Dip your toe in. Like if you join a tournament and drop after one match, nobody cares. There's no risk or stakes at all.
Yeah. You
As long
just
as you
it.
drop, don't just.
yeah, don't just ghost.
Yeah, don't ghost.
Then
Listen,
Ryan
Yeah,
can.
just
I'm so involved with these formats. I've gone very poor rankings in the last couple, but like I'm just gonna keep playing because I want to see what other people are playing. I want to talk with them. I want to like see what the meta is, and you know, I mean, more in the Artisan server than the Pauper server, there are people who love logging data. So we've got like a matrix of standard Pauper data of like this archetype versus this archetype, this is the win rate or whatever, and you can like push that data even just like in a casual game or whatever. And hey, I gotta say this, like if you are a little bit more of a spike, the Artisan Cups, the winner gets a €10 Steam gift card, and the runner-up gets a €5 Steam gift card, and it's free to enter.
wow.
So
Did you say
come on
euro
down.
or euro?
Euro.
Because
No,
10
you don't-
euros.
You don't
I'm
get
interested.
the delicious Greek sliced meat in a pita. You get the currency.
Imagine 10 euros. That would be awesome.
I don't know how you ship that, man.
The greatest prize ever. I think the last question I had really, like, I was going to ask the sort of on-ramp question that you just addressed of, like, our listeners, maybe they're tired of, or they love playing Magic, they love Standard, but maybe they're tired of losing to Izzet or whatever, they want something new, so they should come to your Discord, just like you talked about. I think the question I have is, did this make you a better player playing these formats? Because you have such unique positions that like are completely different than what has been. Maybe you've seen someone navigate those positions in other formats, but in this one, it sounds a lot more like you really have to figure it out for yourself.
I think yes, honestly, and because of the pace of the games, even between like Arena Pauper and Arena Artisan, Arena Pauper it is slow and it is grindy, and you need to like your life matters, your library matters because the games are going to go long unless you're playing really fast. So it's a tax, and you need to think about all aspects of it and like value here and there. It's just like a mid-range grind.
Now you're speaking my language.
Yeah, Pauper is a mid-range grind for sure.
That
Artisan,
was not my
you've
experience. I was steamrolling
Well,
everybody, so
That's because
that's-
you played the busted deck, Zach.
That's why we banned a card from your deck there, Zach. Because that shit was out of control.
it was.
Well, the reason I ask is because, Zach and I have kind of talked about this before, but I feel like Core Set Limited is one of the great ways to sort of improve your over-the-board gameplay. Because, and we joke about on the cast all the time, like everyone just has a bunch of 2/3s. So who's going to win? Right? And I think in those sort of core set draft formats, the better player wins a greater percentage of the time than in these wild formats with all these crazy synergies and you can top deck anything and just kind of take over the game. In core set limited, it's like everyone just has a bunch of crappy creatures. And whoever
if I
has a
were to
better
make,
understanding of mechanics and like attack and who's the beatdown and all that classic stuff.
Totally.
Tends to
If I
win.
were to make two analogies, it would be like standard Pauper is core set limited, and historic or timeless artisan is like legacy, where the stack matters. You're like
Got it, yeah.
you're burning your life total. You got to count.
Oh, count.
Yuck.
It's crazy. Like, but then if you're playing both formats, you're like, all right, I want to go back to core set limited. I'm just gonna like sleeve up my standard deck and like type in looking for game standard Pauper in the Discord. I'll find someone probably in like 10 to 15 minutes if it's a common time zone, and I'll get a game. So
Love that.
I guess honestly, I do have one more thing though. I know you are the beacon of standard Pauper in this like Discord. As far as standard, I'm just telling you that you don't have to take it.
Yeah, that's
yourself.
just a
I'm
fact.
just telling you that
it's
that's
a
what you are.
statement.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You are the standard Pauper Beacon, should standard be reduced to 2 years instead of 3 for rotation?
Yes. Yeah.
Even
100%.
for Pauper. Okay.
Even for Pauper. Man,
Wow.
there are cards that I am already bored of. And I think a lot of the players in standard Pauper are bored of. So, if it could
It's just
turn over
like-
faster, that would be swell because it keeps the format fresh.
Especially Pauper, right? Like, the reason they
Yeah.
did this is people don't want to buy expensive cards that then just rotate in 6 months or whatever.
Right.
In Pauper,
Yeah.
you
So
don't
so
have
then
that
we're
issue.
we're
Everything's-
stuck with
yeah.
that as an externality, and it just kind of sucks. And we kind of like we figured out the lines and like the kind of 2 best decks at the end of the last standard Pauper ladder. It was like the white aggro decks and the cryogen relic decks. Like those are the 2 things. And it's boring. It's boring. If it could rotate faster, that would be swell.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have expressed the sentiment, and I express the sentiment. And like, I wish we didn't have to issue a ban for like such a niche, low power format, but we had to because it was oppressive.
Yeah, I actually had like another thought on that ban, which is interesting to me, is that like because that card was a 4/3, it was like the 2 cards that you really wanted to remove were like, I guess it was like 3. It was like any flyer, so Marrow Sky Swimmer or whatever, the Lorwyn one,
The convoke.
that convokes and makes a token, Leo, and the 4/3, the card, the Salt Road Pack Beast.
Salt Road Pack Beast, baby.
Oftentimes people would kill the Salt Road Pack Beast just because it was big, but it was like you were supposed to kill something else. Like I think you had to hold your removal spell for Leo, but because this Pack Beast could beat you down, it was just it soaked up a removal spell for me
Kind of a
and
rock
won me
in a hard
many
place.
games. Exactly. Like I won a bunch of games because it was like, oh, you had to remove this, but you're gonna have to remove this the next turn. And so the fact that the Pack Beast is gone is like, okay, so now you will have that removal spell for my actual creature that's going to kill you. So that
If they printed a -2/-2 black spell that costs 3 mana, that was like hard to cast, even with downside.
black.
Like if it was 3 black, that might level the format. I'm just saying this after a couple of beers, but I don't know. Like we need a sweeper. If Fire Magic was common, it would have just like completely leveled the format out. But
I don't know. Even like a 4 mana one would be, or 5 mana one would be fine. Like you
I
just
would
need
take
something.
4 mana. Black 2 -2 -3. Yeah, make it asymmetrical. Let's spice it up a little bit.
But the power
kill
doesn't
all-
matter.
-3, -2.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was
Whatever.
like, but
Make a food
wait,
token.
I
Whatever.
just have to say, I love that Jeff was talking about how he loves like 2/3 formats, and you made the board wipe that kills all 2/3s.
How dare you?
I just want to shit on Jeff's streams because he's beaten me so many times in these games. So
I'm excited about Artisan. 'Cause
Artisan?
I love wacky decks built around weird cards, and Uncommon allows me that luxury.
yeah, Pauper is a much slower format, even like in historic. Like the fastest deck is probably Rakdos Madness, but like you're still in for grindy games. You're playing for 30 minutes and 3 rounds. Artisan, we have like Storm now. We've got good counter spells. We've got hyper aggro. We've got Amped Raptor, which is arguably the most
Oh my God, I
insane
forgot about that.
card in the
Holy
format.
crap.
If you're playing red, you have to play that card.
It's literally a staple in just regular historic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good card. I forgot about that card. Holy crap.
Yeah, I just
Man.
gotta just talk about my Rakdos historic aggro deck first. It was just like all 2 and 1 drops and Amped Raptor. So even if you don't have 3 energy, it doesn't matter because everything is 2 or less.
That's
Just go.
amazing. Damn.
Shrap Blast and Galv Blast, and the colloquial name for these decks is 8 Blast. So play those if you want to go fast.
I do like going fast. I like that a lot.
And I'd say there's like 3 notable alchemy cards that make a huge difference in Artisan, and that, well, as we talked about, Landlord Navigator. Reflective Rhymekin, which is 2 and a 1. When you cast it, the next instance of sorcery you cast gets copied. So you can double up your Shrapnel Blast and like dome people for 10. And then the Scourge of Timeless right now, which is Hydroponics Architect. Do you guys know about this card?
That rings a bell. I remember people
That does
complaining
not
about
ring a
this
bell.
card, yeah.
People are calling these decks in Timeless, like, is it Delver? But Delver is gone, and this card, Hydroponics Architect, has replaced it, because it turns one of your islands, or any land in your deck, into an island. And when it enters play, you draw a card. So with days in the format, it's just
Oh, dear God.
insanity.
You gotta be kidding me. That's ridiculous.
Cantripping lands is also just absurd.
Cantripping lands is disgusting.
It makes it an island, so Mystical Sanctuary triggers faster if you play it on... yeah, it's just nuts. There's some cool stuff, though, and it's just like, I don't know. It's not busted yet, but it's getting close. There's like high power, high synergy, low
That
curve.
feels very... That actually... I don't love the digital-only cards, but...
Nor do I.
That
we argued about the cube before, like, I don't want the shit in there, but...
Yeah, but that sounds so disgusting that I kind of like it.
I was like, this
do you want me
looks
to...
like a card you would like, though.
No, I do like it a lot. Because it's so gross. And it's only costs 1 mana. It's a flying 1/2.
It costs 1 mana, it's a 1/2. You
I
play it on
love that.
1. You can fetch for the land that it triggered, which is insane. You can flooded, well, in times you can
wait.
flooded strand for the thing that became an island. Play it, draw a card,
I hate that.
daze, bounce it, play it again, draw a card, because it's perpetual. It's nuts.
Yeah, you could just go find the one that it happened to hit. Okay. I got you now.
This might be banned in Timeless, like next banned and restricted announcement, but we shall see.
That's just so cool.
And you can play it in Timeless Artisan.
I feel like, again, though, the
that's
problem
alright,
is
no.
fetch lands. The problem is always fetch lands.
Yeah.
Fuck fetch lands.
They really are. Honestly, I saw Kes Wiley was talking about like what's the most powerful card in Magic, of like every single Magic card that's ever been printed, and he's just like fetch lands.
Yeah.
Just a fetch land is the most
It's like Flooded Strand, right? Like,
Yeah.
probably the best card.
over like Black Lotus and everything. It's just like Flooded Strands, like all the fetch. That's just the fetch land idea and mechanic is just way stronger than everything else. And the more I think about it, the more I feel like it's probably true.
But 12-year-old me was like, that's stupid. Why would I pay a life? When
I want a
could just
6/6
run an
dragon
island
with
or a
flying
place?
for 7. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, when we were kids, they didn't have all they didn't have all the shocks and the things you could get. It's really it was,
They were still
they're getting
absurdly good. but
they're getting better and better and better. Like
that's
every
part of
new
the
set.
problem with the design. They just keep getting better.
All right, Ryan. Before we go to our last call, do you have any final thoughts on Pauper or Artisan? Final things you want us to know about them and the whole world before we talk about this beer.
If the folks listening to this episode like mid-range and grind fests, Standard Pauper is for you. If you want a little bit less of that and you want to like play an aggro thing, Historic Pauper is for you. Rakdos Madness is the top competing aggressive deck in that format. It made top 4. Please join us. You can play Control. I don't think Control really exists in those formats.
Yeah,
Not
buddy.
yet.
That's what I'm talking about. No control. I love it. Get out of
Actually,
here.
I mean, control is kind of like a relative thing. It's like you can put a bunch of blockers and stuff and not have like a win condition. Um,
I
but
just mean I don't want a bunch of only permission and sweepers, and I want to attack. Can I do that?
you can do that. You can do
Yeah,
that, and
sick.
you will
Hell
do
yeah.
well because you have done well in the format.
Yeah, buddy. go.
Artisan is like, if I was to attribute it to a range of Magic and a format, I would call it like 2012 Legacy. We have combo, we have control, we have aggro, we have Delver, we have Daze now. You can do whatever you want. It's a brewer's
That sounds-
paradise.
Wild.
That's all I
And
needed
then
to
you
hear.
get-
Brewer's Paradise.
Yeah. And you get these like spicy cards from Alchemy that no one else is using. Reflective Rhymekin is probably the most egregious. It won the last Timeless Cup by doubling up Shrapnel Blast to burn you for 10 in the face on turn 4. So, come on, guys, come on down. Come on. It's great.
That's
If you want to get Shrapnel Blast for 10 in the face,
Yeah. Or if you
No.
want to Shrapnel Blast for 10.
yes, you are the one doing it. It's never happening to
Yeah.
you, Jeff. Obviously,
Oh,
that's how
I
this
see.
works. Yeah.
Just play Amped Raptor and live your best life. Come on down to Artisan.
that is appealing.
That's very appealing. I love that. Well,
That is my pitch. If you want to play Amped Raptor, come to Artisan.
And who doesn't? Come on.
That card's sick as hell. Ryan, this has been so awesome. I am so happy to learn all. Like, you just have like a wealth of knowledge of this format that I like know very little about, but I am so excited to play some more, and I want to get involved with these formats. So, thank you for getting me into it, and also coming on the podcast to explain it to everybody else. This has been.
It's
Sweet.
been absolutely my pleasure. These formats have brought me so much joy. Like running these tournaments, even if I have to yell at people to finish their matches or whatever. It's been so fun. I love to see what people are putting together with like lower rarity cards in like restrictive sections. Like, oh, what are you going to do with like cards that are printed at common and standard? All right. Oh, that's a crazy, like, crazy deck you've made. A lot of synergy. That's fantastic. That brings me a lot of joy. I want you to beat me with that.
That's the
It's-
test of a good Magic format. If you lose to something and you're like, wow, that was cool. Then it's a good
100%.
format.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll put the links to the Standard Artisan Discord, Standard Pauper Discord. We run tournaments whenever it happens. I can't. speak to
Whenever
it.
that's all you can ask for. Whenever they happen, you can all find me there as well if you want to play me in some standard Pauper. I'll be doing my best to be in these tournaments. So,
But he'll be equipped with the best deck in the format because he has an inside.
Hey. Actually, you don't know that. Maybe in the standard Pauper ones, I'm going to start brewing, and I will be the worst format in the whole thing because
the worst deck that you could imagine.
that's probably what I'm going to cook up. But anyway, let's go to last call. Let's talk about the beer we've been drinking this evening. Snappio. Boom. Crispy IPA. As always, we rate our beers on a scale from bronze to mythic, just like the tiers in Arena. However, it has nothing to do with what tier you are in currently, because everyone is in different tiers at different times. So don't feel bad when we say that bronze beers, they're trash. They're horrible. You spit them on the ground, you pour them out, you piss on them. They're so gross. Yuck.
Interesting. Silver beers are just bad or boring. Don't have a lot going on.
Gold beers are fine, but you wouldn't really drink this again.
Platinum, totally solid. You would totally drink it again.
Diamond beers are exceptional. You like these a lot. You show them off to your friends.
And Mythic, these are the absolute best of the best. These are the... Ryan, what's the best card in Standard Pauper post-ban?
It might be Cryogen Relic.
These are the Cryogen relics of the beer world.
I hate to say these words out loud, but I think
No.
it's true.
It's because Jeff already knew it was Cryogen Relic, and he's just making you say it He knew that it was the card that he had picked as the best blue common from Edge of Eternity. He's just rubbing the salt in the wound. But no. I am interested to hear more about this beer, actually, Ryan. So you said you might geek out a little bit on Snapio. Well, I guess actually, how would you like to do this?
I think we should hear what you think first, Zach. You're the only one who hasn't tried it for the first time.
Gosh, dang it! I was trying to get out of this.
Tried to get away from that. You can tell.
I was trying to squirm out of it. It makes me so nervous.
No, be honest. I don't care. Just like lay it on me.
If it's
not my recipe, I just make the thing. So like I can yell at my superior.
Yeah, it's definitely not bronze, obviously. I drank an entire one. I'm almost finished with the second one. When you said it was West Coast, I was a little worried because West Coast is not my favorite. It's not what I'm looking for. But it's lighter in color, which I do like. Some of the darker West Coasts, I don't tend to like them as much. And having the fruitiness of the East Coasty feel is definitely in there. I do really like it. I don't know how, like, the way you guys are talking about it, I didn't know what to expect necessarily. And I think that if I was talking about an IPA that I was very excited about coming back, I'd probably think it's a little bit more completely in like a hazy, super juicy way. But it's because I do like my beers a little bit juicier than this. But I do find this to be exceptional and crispy and snappy, which is what I was told it was going to be, crispy and snappy. And it is definitely both of those things. Yeah, it's on the can. We got the Snappios right here. Our little guy.
It's going to be banned in Legacy, Vintage, and Timeless anytime. This one mana card named Snapio.
Snapio, absolutely.
Keep your eyes peeled.
So I definitely like this. God, Jeff, you're really just grinding me right into it. I do like this a lot. From the stuff I've had from Fairweather, I think that it doesn't beat High Grade and
High Grade
some
is
of the
definitely
other
juicier.
Yes. And some of the other things. So I think it's a very, very high platinum, which is still super solid. But I don't know if I'm fully recommending this to all of my friends. But you guys obviously love this. And I know that Jeff has a different...
Well, I want to hear Jeff's before I tell you anything about it. I want to hear the...
Okay, so the thing that like triggered for me... I love this beer. So I think, Ryan, I got a keg of this when you guys first made it. Mm-hmm. And you were like, dude, this beer we're making is pretty good. You should try it. And I took it home and put the keg on tap. And I drained that faster than I would like to admit. And I was like, and it's, if we didn't say this is what, 6%? It's not, so it's, you'll just have like a couple of them while you play Arena, and then you're like,
I guess that's true.
I shouldn't have done that. Now I'm going to regret it in the morning.
I've had this exact scenario, like maybe yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, maybe just last night when I got the keg on tap. But when you said it was like a West Coast IPA with East Coast sensibility at the top of the show, that's when it all really clicked for me, because I grew up on like Mad Tom. I still like Mad Tom. That's one of my go-to beers. But as I've gone through the beer evolution, I'm kind of like, East Coast IPAs are kind of better though. Like, I love Mad Tom, the West Coast sort of heritage there, and that holds a lot of nostalgia for me. But there's a lot of things that East Coast IPAs do that I think have sort of proven out in the beer brewing world as like the better way to make an IPA. So when you said that, I'm like, that's it. It like reminds me of that Mad Tom base, but is just like, learned the lessons of the IPA wars. And so this is one of my favorite beers. Right now, I think it just is my favorite beer. Yeah.
I will say that this is way better than Mad Tom.
And so if I gave Mad Tom Mythic, I guess this has to be Mythic too.
Yeah.
But if you gave Mad Tom a mythic in 2013, I think you're forgiven for all of your sins because everyone was pushing.
Mad Tom for me is mostly nostalgia. I still
Yeah.
like it because of,
Yeah.
but it's mostly because of that nostalgia. The one thing I will say about Mad Tom, and this is a very random thought, but if I even like open a Mad Tom, then my wife will be like, did you get hammered last night? Like, what happened? Like, that smell, she can just identify it. And I'm like, a Mad Tom happened to be near me last night. And she's like, why do you smell like a drunkard?
Yeah.
Listen, I was Mad Tom adjacent. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
I walked by the beer fridge, which happened to have Mad Tom in it.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, I swear, I just had like one beer. But yeah, no, this is it's my nostalgic love for the West Coast IPAs, but sort of brewed with the understanding that kind of East Coast IPAs are mostly better. So
And that's exactly what we put into the recipe. It was like we can't do 150 IBUs anymore and like rake people's tongues and be like, oh yeah, it
no,
hurts.
you save that
Drink
for your
this beer."
pilsners.
It's not my choice, okay? I'm just a cog in the wheel, Jeff. But this one, it was like we took a lot of the things we learned from doing East Coast IPAs. We did something called a hop dip. So when we're like cooling, how nerdy can I get here? Can I go on
You
this
can
tangent?
go. I do
Max it out.
not know what that means. So tell me everything.
Okay, so we're boiling the wort. We're gonna cool it into the tank, and pitch the yeast when the tank is full. But before we pitch the yeast in this particular beer, we cool in 1,000 liters of this wort, which is unfermented beer, hot, and we add liquid hop extract to it, which is kind of just like a super flavor fruit bomb burst. And then we cool the rest of the wort in, which will become beer. Ferment it. And honestly, when this thing was fermenting, I was just like, open up the relief valve on the tank and like smell it. Just like get a little hit of it. Like, oh yeah, fuck, this is so good. And then when it gets to us, yeah, truly. And the head brewer Thomas is doing this as well. I'm like, my god, this smells so good. So like we hit it with Citra, which is the IPA beer or IPA hop, sorry. And then we dry hop it, chill it. It's clear-ish because we used a American yeast strain, and I don't know, finishes a little drier, so it's not as like mouthfeely, but still has all of these like fruity elements, and the aroma is insane. And like this is the beer. This is the beer for me. 6%, kind of piney, a little bit bitter, a little fruity. Could drink it all night.
Yeah, it's the beer for me too. And I heard it was coming back. I was like, all right, now's the time to replace the keg.
Yeah, that's great. I know it wasn't my favorite one, but I'm very excited that we got to like drink this together. I ordered the beer from Fairweather to come, and then Fairweather is one of my favorite breweries anyway. So like, I don't know, all their stuff is awesome. So like, I already had it at such a high bar, so that's also what I was kind of coming into it as being something so.
Yeah, we also laid it on a bit thick coming in. Like,
It's true. Like obviously my expectations were extremely high. So I knew where you guys were going to come in on. It is funny because like for my beer history, like West Coast, I almost feel like West Coast have like a negative point value on my scale because I didn't like them so much when I lived on the West Coast. They were such a like, I was also younger. I wasn't drinking beer as much. It was a whole other thing. But things that remind me of West Coast beers, I like less. And so that's my own, like, you were talking about Mad Tom being like nostalgia for like, you know, the good times. I almost have like an anti nostalgia for like, oh, this reminds me of the stuff that I was like not excited to have. But I mean, this one didn't, I don't know. It had a little bit of that, but I think this I have 4 more of these in my cupboard, and I'm very excited to get them chilled so I can drink more of them, because they will be rocking and awesome. Let's go to closing time. Let's finish this thing up. Let's wrap everything up. As always, you can reach us at Arena Regulars on Instagram and Blue Sky.
You may also find us on Arena itself under the username Arena Regulars Podcast or Sitharoth.
So 6473, whatever. We'll figure it out.
You can find me personally. I'm at @theregular_Zach. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. But Jeff, where can they find you?
Best place is our Discord channel if you want to come chat about some of these awesome new formats. Ryan's in our Discord channel as well. We can all just chat about it, or you can chat about Cube Draft. You can chat about beer. Mm-hmm. We got it all. Come hang out. Ryan, what Discord channel are you plugging?
I would like everyone to join the Arena Pauper Discord, which is going to be linked in the show notes.
I'm there.
I'm not a podcast host, but I'm allowed to say that. And the Arena Artisan Discord server. We have a lot of tournaments happening, and yeah, we've got meta challenges in Artisan. We've got cups coming up with prizes, 10 euros. Pauper, no prizes, but just glory.
Just the glory. Just the glory.
Yeah, come dunk on people with common cards. You can do it. I believe in you.
It's a lot of fun. Also, if you like the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Spotify. Leave us a review there as well. Go to your YouTube channel. Give us a little comment. Whatever you have to say is something we want to know, so please let us know. We'd love to hear it. This has been the Arena Regulars.
Reminding you, if you want to burn all of your uncommon wild cards, join the Arena Artisan server.
Good night. All right, that's fine.